Webcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our monthly webinar for October. Our Thai stock market has reached its peak for this round at around 1600 levels before entering to consolidation periods. That means it couldn't make a new high that we see the level of 1650s in the mid of May. Actually, this consolidation is not surprise us. As previously, we mentioned several times that we have no longer shift in terms of PE. So today, we'll see how far this consolidation should go, why we think it is a buying opportunity for Thai stock market right now, and what we recommend is for buying. Before that, let's review a bit for the speaker bio first. There are two speakers today, as usual. The first one is me, Tirda Chanin-Yong. I'm an equity strategist for AFC Securities since 2004, employing a top-down investment approach to look for appropriate investment theme at the right time and updating both institutional and individual investors about the outlook for Thai stock market. I'm hold an MBA from Chulalongkorn University, Thailand, and the second speaker, Mr. Danai Turiyapisitchai. He has been a capital market analyst for AFC Securities, Thailand since 2002. Currently, he holds the position of Vice President for Equity Research. He spent more than 12 years covering property development and building material sectors. Besides being an MBA graduate from Western Michigan University, he holds a MS in finance from Golden Gate University. He also earned designation as a chartered financial analyst in 2012. So we'll start with the stock market outlook first for October. The pressure would likely to come from the external front and in our views, as it would be a major source of volatility in Thai stock markets, especially something related with the major countries' monetary policy, such as a hint of an interest rate hike from the Bank of England and the U.S. Federal Reserve, and also the QE detail from ECB. Moreover, geopolitical unrest in several parts of the globe could further add an element of nervousness to the market. On the other hand, the internal factors would remain key to limiting the market downside. Well, thanks to the government stimulus measures, in the long run, the key economic driver would come from the implementations of the mega infrastructure investment, as everybody knows. And plus with the short-term stimulus measures, we would eye on the progress on the budget disbursement that could kickstart the economy in the near term through construction and improvement of buildings and roads. Another thing, the weakening trend of baht. Despite some negative impact to fund inflow, but it should potentially be positive or supportive for share of exporters and tourism-related companies, especially we are heading into a high season by the end of the year. On this page, we'll see the table show the short-term stimulus measure that our government has just announced it by last week. The totaling budget is around 800 billion baht, and 55% of them, or 430 billion baht, come from the accelerating approval of investment applications for 380 projects from the BOI. And the rest, around 360 billion baht, or around 45%, would come from the accelerating budget spending in the investment project. And the last one is to provide one-time subsidy for production costs to 3.4 million rice farming households in a bid to boost rice farmers' income. All of this would at least create some more year-end spending along with the additional income. and that would push our fourth quarter GDP growth for Thailand. That would be positive to our short-term market sentiment on the quite positive outlook for our economic recoveries. But for Thai stock market, I said that our Thai stock market has been no longer cheap in terms of PE. The graph shows the set index relative PE with the MSCI X Japan. At current level of 0.98, it is slightly lower than 1 times. However, in the historical term given, its historical PE average of 0.65 times and 0.95 times for the period of 2008 to 2009 and 2011 to 2012 respectively, leaving scope for a possible pullback as we have seen it since beginning of October. So how far the consolidation should go? This graph shows this. We see the scope for a mild corrections of 3% to 5% from the peak of 1,600 points to 1,540 points, equivalent to a 60-day average standard deviation of PE. In our view, any dip towards 1,540 to or 1,520 point would be an ideal buying point. As expected, the economic recovery in the fourth quarters to 2015 as said earlier. However, if the market's PE slips lower than its means, turning to the downturns, it may reach -2 standard deviations as shown in the graph, equivalent to the index of 1480 levels. That would contractions of around 10% from its peak, from this round peak at around 1600 levels. So a good strategy for short term would be a buying on weakness at the major support levels. What we recommend for buying right now, we like to share those benefits from the government project by the and the year-end spending spree and the bad weaknesses. So our pick for the month, maybe through the end of years, we like AFC Securities, we like Bangkok Medical, we like Kasikorn Bank, Mac Group, and Siam Future Development. With all these 5 share will give you more detail by Khun Danai.
Okay, let's start the first one. The Asia Plus Securities. We like to pay the third quarter result, which can strongly show growth on the year-on-year and Q-on-Q. In the third quarters, we expected the ASP or the Asia Plus Securities will report the strong earning growth in the third quarters because the turnover of the SET and the MAI market, excluding the proprietary trading, during the quarters is increased as much as 35% year-on-year and 36% Q-on-Q to the 50 billion baht. And also the broker average market shares rose back to 4.96%. And also the company has a well-diversified revenue structure. Besides its brokerage fee income, the fee and service income also the major factor of the revenues. In the view of the well-diversified revenue profile, its earning risk against the slump in the market turnover is comparatively low relative to its peers. And also the stock is offered a quite very good dividend yields. Our forecast is up to the 0.33 stang a shares, implied the yield of 8.6%. Our target price is 4.3 baht a shares. and we recommend the trading buy with the fair value for the financial year 15 target price 4.3 baht a share. The second one, is the BGH, is a Bangkok Hospital Group. We think that they will have a very good earning in the third quarters due to the high seasonalities, due to the pickup in the foreign patient volume. In the third quarter, earnings will hit the highest of the years. It should be the very busy season visit during the seasonal epidemics, and the pickup in the foreign patient volume should boost the third quarter's 2014 earnings to be the highest of the years. And our forecast is also based on the utilization rate. We rise to the 75% in the third quarters from the 72% in the first half. By the way, they will have an expansion theme. They plan to, number one, increase the IPD bed capacity to its network in the hospital, which has a high utilization rate of 75 to 80%. Two, they will build the new greenfield hospital. Thirdly, they will acquire the already established hospital. Fourth, they will branch out into the non-hospital business, including the acquisition of the Safe Drug Center as a part of the strategy to diversify into the other healthcare-related business. All in all, the Bangkok Hospital Group aims to boost its hospital network to 50 this year. And also, the company has a very low interest burden. They already issue 10 billion worth of the 5-year zero coupon convertible bonds. We see a very healthy earnings outlook. Our forecast suggests they will deliver the growth for the financial year 14 to 15 about 19% and 14%. We have a rating of the accumulate with a target price for the financial years 15 of 20.70 baht a share. The next one is the Kasikorn Bank. We see the further room for the strong growth for the rest of the years. And the year to date, the loan growth is around 3.4%. At the end of the August 2014, the K-Bank or the Kasikorn Bank reported the loan growth of 3.4% from the year from the end of the financial year 13. This will have some room for the strong loan growth over the rest of the year, driven by the SME loans, a core component of the bank loan portfolio, as well as the corporate and the retail loans. The bank also has a very well diversified revenue profile, and the revenue structure has a high proportion of the fee income and the non-interest income. In our view, is a seasonally strong growth period for the asset management and the insurance businesses by the year end should provide further boost to the bank's earnings. The NPL, in NPL size, we see the NPL level right now is a quite manageable level. Even though the high risk of the SME loan account for the biggest portion of the bank's loans portfolio, the bank could keep the risk under control. Despite the rise in the NPL, the level remained low, just 2.1%, well below the industrial average 3%. For the earning growth outlook this year, we expected 11% growth. We think the K-Bank will achieve the net profit 46 billion, up 11%. we recommended accumulate for with the share price for the financial year 15 of 246 baht a share. Moving on to the netbook. We see the high seasonalities beneficiary of the stimulus measures, and the sales is set for the return to the strong growth in the fourth quarters. Our forecast suggests a combination of the positive factors as follows. The first one is the greater policy credits from the government side. The second one, we see probably we see the pick up in the spending driven by the government economics stimulus measures. And third, we have a low base. In the fourth quarter and 2013 is hardly hit by the fallout from the domestic political unrest. This means is a low base. It means more growth to rebound in the fourth quarters. Mac Group also has a very strong balance sheet with the interest-bearing debt to the equity ratio just only 0.03 times, and the rest, the remaining cash from the IPO still on hand. They will have some cash on hand to make more the M&A deal to put more growth on the company. In addition, the company just acquired the Time Deco in the late financial year 13. So we have some more room growth from the M&A deal. We have a buy on the MacBook with the target price 23.5 a share for the target price for the financial years 2015. Moving on for the last is the Siam future. We see the company has a new strategy to expand into the provincial market. Previously, the company has two major projects in the pipeline, but right now one of the projects at the Bang Yai will have some problem to acquire the land plot. So maybe this project maybe have to be cancelled, and the land is already acquired has to be sold out. For the other project at the Langsit has proceeded quite smoothly. We expect the project from the Langsit will come out maybe 2 or 3 years ahead. Looking back for the pre-exceptional profit, we still see the growth of the compound annual growth rate of the 9.4% over the 9.4% over 5 years. Now the company has set the strategy to add 2 community malls in the provincial areas for each year, and the estimate size maybe 50,000 square meters per each year. So this means is they can put more area into their portfolio. In the same time, they can increase the average rental rate 5% per year. So we are looking for the pre-exceptional profit to rise for the 9.4%. And in the other case, if the Mega Langsit, the new project that I talk about, can set to open in 2019, we can see the pre-exceptional profit to rise on the average in the next 5 years, 13.8%. So it's more growth due to the new project and the new strategy. And at the moment, they have a existing project at the Mega Bang Na, and they still have plan because they have the land plot beside the project, and they will plan to sell or lease out this land plot to the developer to build more the building project. And hopefully the company hope they can have a developer to build the office, the hotel, the residential condominium beside the project. That means when they have that kind of the property type, then we can increase the traffic into the Mecca Bagna. So it's maybe quite good for the project in the future. And also we can see more the positive in the second half of this year. As we see the second half, right now, the structure right now is 10% of the revenue is the revenue sharings from the rental revenue is a 10%. It's a revenue sharing. If we see the shopping season is coming up in the fourth quarter, we see a brighter outlook to the rental avenue for the Siam future. And all in all, we see the business in the steady growth. Our projection in the full 2014 and 15, we see the profit growth of 40%, 12% consecutively. For the target price, we set at the 10 baht and 70 stan a shares. And this is excluding the new project at the Mecca Lansit and the Mecca Bangyai. So the share is still trading at the discount. Just consider just the existing projects. So we still have a buy on Siam Future with a target price 10.70 baht a share. That would be all for our monthly. If you have any question, you feel free to type it along. Let me repeat your question. Your question is about would the upcoming major IPO pose a risk to liquidities in the market? And since the beginning of this year, we see a lot of IPO, but mostly in a very small cap stock. But we see maybe the big one is coming up is a Bangkok Airways. But right now it's just in the process of subscription. So maybe I'm not sure because the market sentiment right now is changing. Maybe they will delay. But I don't think they will have some impact on the liquidity of the market as a whole. Some other question? Okay, thank you for your attention. We'll see you next month.